There we go. Okay. 5. Okay. Still set?
I am all set.
All right. Thanks for coming out today. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We're supposed to have Dan DePodman here today, but unfortunately he's sick, so I'll probably be here next week. I have to confirm with him that, but instead we have Marisa here today. We're supposed to be here next week, so thank you, Marisa, for doing it, especially on such short notice. And yeah, take it away whenever you're ready.
So this will not be a very formal presentation because I found out about this last night. And, happy to do it, but also happy to get your input as we go along as well. But before we start, I want to do a couple of housekeeping things. A friendly reminder about career days tomorrow night. Who in here has ever attended career days? For those who have, can you explain what happens?
People talk about companies and what they do, and then they bring our rooms later. We can talk to them and ask some questions.
Yeah, exactly. So tomorrow night, it's all companies except for broadcast, because we did that a few weeks ago. Quite a range of businesses that are coming. Some of them have never been here before. So I'm pretty excited about this. If you have not signed up, or if you have any younger people on your shifts that you want to talk to them about this, encourage them to go, because this is not just for people who are graduating. This should be everybody, all levels, just to get an idea of what is out there. It should be at the most 2 hours, knock on wood. I hope it's not longer than that. Each place is only supposed to talk for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then, as Cameron said, at the very end, you can go into breakout rooms and talk to the people and learn a little bit more about their companies. So Lon sent out a reminder email this morning. So if you have not register for it, because then you get the Zoom link sent to you. And the beautiful thing about Zoom is that you can watch in the comfort of your home, in your pajama pants, not have to worry. In that respect, it's quite nice. So that was my little plug for that. For those of you who are on Campus Weather Service or in WOE, or Weather Outreach and Education, it is Flood Awareness Week in Pennsylvania. So just if you need some things to tweet about for your organizations, or you want to, this is what the department, and now WOE, congratulations to WOE on becoming a member of Weather Ready Nation Ambassador. But it's things like this that you're supposed to be pushing out to the general public for them to learn about things. And Flood Awareness Week takes place all week. God, words are just not coming to my head. Today's information is all about flood preparedness and about learning how to protect yourself and how to be ready for a flood. And then each day they have a different focus. Tomorrow is our turn around, don't drown. And so each week, because flooding is a problem here in Pennsylvania, as it is across most of the US, because flooding can be caused by many different things. But just to give you guys that little heads up, because that is something you should be paying attention to. And you're not just here to tell people the weather, you're here to educate people as well. What else, other than the IPCC report, which just came out and I haven't had a chance to look at? It's another big news day when it comes to weather. Why is that?
It's the first day of spring.
That's right. And the BBC tweeted out this cute little graphic this morning that explains what the vernal equinox is. And I think there's a problem in here somewhere, because some of the comments, people are mad that there's an apostrophe somewhere that shouldn't be. Maybe it's the phase of its orbit, is that? So anyway, it's a neat little graphic, and these are things that you can do on Max machines. You can make these graphics to educate your viewers on what the heck is going on. So today, what is it, 5:24 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I think is when this officially happens. We actually had our equal 12 hours between sunrise and sunset on Friday. Did you guys know that? So here's our little, so if we look, maybe it was Saturday, yeah, Friday it was, sunrise was at 7:20, sunset was at 7:20. So it was 11 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds of daylight. So that's as close as you're gonna get. Today, sun came up at 7:15, it sets at 7:23. We're gaining about 2 minutes and 43 seconds of daylight each day. The cool thing about this website is you can see that on March 1st, We had 11 hours and 16 minutes of daylight. By the time we get to the end of the month, 12 hours and 38 minutes. So we're ramping up really quickly. So for those of you who enjoy this, I got cranky last week because I hate the early, when the sunrise was early and then it went late because of the time change. So I'll be much less cranky by the end of the month. So that is our sunrise and sunset. Do you guys know why it's not exactly 12 hours? Who can tell us? Because you may get this question as somebody who works with the National Weather Service or as well, stop being real or whatever the hell you're doing back there, Kevin.
I will show you later.
All right, so okay, Kevin, since you were just so busy doing other things, why are we not at 12 hours of equal daylight? And,
Not everybody can be 12 hours even,
well, why is
The
that?
distribution varies latitudinally.
Right, so it's the equal amount right now. Today is at the equator. Correct, it's at the equator today. But it's also because if you guys think about when the sun comes up, so let's say here's our horizon and the sun starts to come up, sunrise and sunset is not counted by the center of the sun. It's the top of the sun. So like your sunrise is when you start getting your little doop. It's not when you have your, half circle of the sun.
I sure did not know that.
Oh, you thousand weather comp quiz question.
So there you go. That's one of those fun little facts. But those are things that viewers or listeners or just anybody, your grandma may ask you. And those are the things you need to be able to answer. The other fun, since we're talking about astronomy, we're gonna sort of talk religion here, but this is one of these facts I did not learn until I was an adult and it blew me away. Does anybody in here know why Easter, like who picks the date for Easter every year? How that is figured out? Yes, Jesus Christ is yes, does anybody know? This is one of these things that, yes.
It's something to do with the spring equinox.
It is. It does have to do with the equinox, and then it has to do with that, and then more astronomy. It is, and look at this. We can even go, this is not a religious website. This is space.com. The full moon. So Easter occurs on the Sunday following the first full moon following the equinox. Which that blew me. Like I said, I didn't learn this till I was in my 30s, and I thought that was one of the coolest things. And there's all sorts of rules about it. If that full moon is on a Sunday, then Easter's not till the next week. But that's why I think Easter can occur anywhere between, is it March 21st and April? Does that have a list in here? And this was from a couple of years ago, so don't look at these dates. Yeah, so anyway, that's one of those cool fun facts. So we'll get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so what is going on with the weather? Does anybody have any idea what's going on with the weather?
High pressure.
High pressure, that's right. So, and thanks to that high pressure, we had a little bit of a chilly morning, huh?
Yeah.
A little cold out there. Clear sky. The winds that we had to deal with this weekend is now gone. Look at that. You can see the snowpack to our north. Go to the end here. But pretty tranquil day, and it's going to be one of those days where we have wall-to-wall blue sky, but that's going to change. You guys are very rambunctious back there today. We're not enjoying it. So I've showed you this before. Any of you who have come and seen me do this or have been in WeatherCom, this is one of my favorite web pages to get an overall view of what's going on, the WPC. This is now, of course, talking at the surface, but there's a lot of information on this website. We can go to the surface analysis and look at the last 24 hours and see what's been going on. And there was that high pressure sneaking in, and you can see the winds calming down. The nice thing about this page is that you can go ahead to the next week. We can scroll through, and it gives us all what they're, bless you, what they are thinking for where fronts are going to be. And fronts are going to be what really is the driving force of our weather this week, because they're going to be hanging around towards the end of this week, and there's just going to be bouts of showers that ride along them. So we'll look at that a little bit more detail in just a second, but in case you don't recall, you can go to this tab here, the QPF, and you can see how much precip is forecasted each day. So this is from Thursday morning till Friday morning. You can see this big stretch here where there's the potential for some very heavy precipitation. And it looks like Western Pennsylvania is the winner that day. And then this also gives you totals. So if you're looking for a chance of places where you can see excessive rainfall, right there in the, I guess we would call that the Mississippi Valley. There's also a tab that has excessive rain, and this is nice because it gives you the day 1, the day 2, and the day 3. So day 2, it looks like it's all in California and even Arizona. And then they have their experimental day 4 and 5, and this is the area where we were just looking at in the Mississippi Valley. Winter weather, unfortunately, not an issue for us right now. And this just shows you where this model, or where these forecasters are thinking there could be an issue with that. But I also love the forecast tools tab. Later this week, it's going to get warm. And we'll look at that in depth, but how warm are we talking about? And is there a chance for records? I love this tab here, and it gives us an idea of whether or not we are within record-breaking territory. So if you click on this for today, it just looks like whatever this station is, Brookings, I'm assuming that's California. The forecast high is 47, the record is 46, and their data goes back to 1913. So they'll be close to having a cold high today. And for us here, it doesn't get exciting until Friday morning. And look at all those numbers here on the eastern edge of that front that'll be coming through. So let's go. This is Harrisburg. It says Middletown. MDT is where Harrisburg, that's the airport. The forecast is 51. The record warm, low temperature, even though I'm not supposed to say warm, but it's just easier to say warm than high, low, is 51. It was actually set back just 2 years ago in 2021, and their data goes back to 1888. So a very warm morning in store on Friday for Harrisburg. I think this is Reading. Yeah, Reading is close as well. And Philadelphia International. And I'm assuming the other one is going to be the Franklin Institute. Yeah, Franklin Institute don't go back as far as 1942, whereas the Philly at the airport goes back to 1873. But anyway, moral of the story is there could be on the eastern edge of this front a lot of warm air. That could be record-breaking Friday morning. What about Saturday afternoon? No, it just looks like Florida is going to be warm. And then the cold returns back to the west where they could have a chilly weekend. So I really enjoy that site. The other tab I really like here is this max min temperature departure. And I don't know if we'll get all the 12Z. We might have, let's go to 60 because I think that data is in. So what this shows us is the forecast highs for today. Those are the numbers that are on this map, but then the colors tell you where that relates compared to average. So it looks like here in the Central Plains, these highs will be anywhere between 5 and 10 above average. And even in here, there could be some Northeast PA, it could be 5 to 10 above average, and then along the Gulf Coast, a little bit cooler than average. Actually, that looks like a lot cooler than average. Yeah, those temps down, that looks like it could be 15 to 20 below average from the South Texas eastward along the Gulf. Tomorrow morning, another chilly morning, especially in southern Pennsylvania. But then by tomorrow afternoon, look at this. This has 50s across the state, so that's about 5 to 10 above average. I think right now we're about what? In the state of Pennsylvania, about mid 40s to mid 50s for high temperatures. And then tomorrow afternoon, still on the warmer than average side. And then whoa, look at that, there's Thursday morning, not a cold morning. Thursday afternoon. And then Friday is when I had the chance for those record high lows in southeastern Pennsylvania to start the day Friday. And then, this has that front coming through, and it's Temperature's moderating a little bit, but it's not, Sunday's not, didn't get put in there. But it doesn't look like we're going to have any push of cold this week. What else did we want to? I guess we'll. Where did my? So, looking at the US, we have that high pressure system. This has a whole bunch of highs on it. But southwesterly flow is going to take over at the surface. That's really going to start bringing in the warmer air. We'll go to the 60. We'll start with the NAM. And first we'll look over here on this far upper left panel for the upper level. You can see that by the time we get to Thursday, there's this ridge that's starting to build in the southeast, another trough digging into the west, so that's going to help bring some of the warmth in. But there's also going to be some sort of boundary in this area that is going to help spawn some showers. And we can see that here in this middle bottom panel. So we stay dry until, I think, this model has nothing on Wednesday. Some models have stuff moving in late Wednesday, but a warm front is going to come through at the surface. And there we go. And then with the trailing front along it, we're going to be seeing the chances of precipitation increase as we go towards the latter part of the week, but we're still on the warmer side of things. So now we'll switch over to the GFS. And this is a little bit slower in getting that ridge building into the southeast. And it just looks not like a pristine day on Wednesday into Thursday. And then you can see where the front would be. This is where, so you see this, the ridge, and then this is where the front would be draped. And there's just going to be areas of low pressure that ride along that front. So it's going to be one of these things that's going to be really tough to be able to tell timing. You know, is it going to be raining Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon? To me, this is one of those ones that you have to be as ambiguous as you can, because there's going to be different systems that ride up along it until we finally start to see it starts to flatten out a little bit in the upper levels by the time we get to the weekend. And then by next week, it might start digging a little bit more. But it's really not super exciting. I had somebody who's a part of this campus weather service shift talk about temperatures by the time we get to the Thursday, Friday period. How warm do we think it can get before that front moves through? So let's talk to the shift over here. What are you guys thinking?
Probably around like the 60 degree mark, lowers, I think lowers.
For which day?
I believe like Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday?
I think like lower 60s.
I think absolutely getting into the
Mid to upper 60s on Thursday before that front swings through. And one thing that Kevin said to me earlier, one thing that Kevin mentioned to me earlier is cloud cover on Thursday. And if we could break out of the clouds on Thursday, is there a chance that that temperature can go up even more? This is one model. This is the GFS, has it staying relatively cloudy here on Thursday. But I do agree, any sunshine, I mean, it's March. We've got pretty strong, as you guys saw last week with snow, anytime it snows in March, it's hard to collect any snow because the sun is just is so strong at this time of year. So if we can get rid of any clouds, I think it will warm up quite nicely. But I think today is the day where we're going to have the most amount of sunshine, and then tomorrow high clouds start to stream in, the cirrus clouds ahead of the front that's going to come in on Wednesday. So enjoy the blue sky today. The high clouds start to stream in, and then it's a pretty blah, typical State College cloudiness for a few days, which is no fun. The other thing I want to point out, I noticed on the National Weather Service page this morning, I was like, oh, there's some sort of something happening in the southeastern part of the state. So I clicked on the State College office, and if you go to the special weather statement, there is an elevated risk of wildfire spread this afternoon. I don't know if any of you knew that. It is quite dry out there. Earlier today I sat down in my office and I got shocked. And that's because, and I don't know about you guys, I have been so thirsty as well, but dew points are only in the low teens across, just in the teens across the state. So really low dew points right now. So that, they had an elevated risk of wildfire spread. And then I clicked on, for us, we're in a hazardous weather statement, or hazardous weather outlook. And this talks about the fact low humidity, dry, fine fuels, and leaf litter will combine with moderately gusty west to southwest breeze in the teens to around 20 to create an elevated threat for fire. And we have a graduate, if you don't follow him on Twitter, I highly encourage you to. His name is Bryant Sell, and he put this map up this morning, which I thought was quite nice. And I was trying to find this map from the Pennsylvania DCNR, but I could not find it. But yeah, so we've got the high fire danger risk in the county shaded in yellow, and then the county shaded in blue, the moderate. So if you see smoke out there today, there could be the chance for some fires. And northern Pennsylvania is in the low risk. But I think Bryant does a really nice job of reporting on these things and putting that stuff out there. He's got he always comes out with some really neat tidbits and facts as well. Something else I wanted to show you that I did not know existed until a couple of weeks ago when I was in a webinar with the National Weather Service. Did you guys know they have a briefing page for their county warning area? This is another spot where you can get so much information all in one place. And it's just weather.gov/CTP/briefing. And they put out the hazardous weather outlook. And if we were to click on it, it just shows the fire weather risk, limited. But then there's a tab that gives you the current weather, the rainfall and flooding, if there's ever a chance of thunderstorms. This is fun to look at when there's a chance for winter weather, but of course we haven't needed to look at that very much. This is their temperature and wind forecasts, and it's nice because they put it out on for the entire state. So there's today's maximum sustained, tomorrow's, Wednesday's, and then the gusts today, tomorrow, Wednesday. The nice thing they do as far as temperatures go, so if we look at today's highs, this gives a nice map of the entire state, but then you can do a departure from normal, which is really nice to get an idea of where we stand compared to normal. So there we go. Tomorrow we start to warm up like that. And then Wednesday, we really start to warm up. So this is just one of those pages that I think is really interesting to look at. The fire weather page, which would be great for today, it gives you the relative humidity forecast, the maximum sustained winds, and the maximum gusts, and that's for days 1 through 3. And then they give you all these other really neat maps. It's one of these rabbit holes you can go down and just keep going. There's drought, there's tropics, there's even a space weather tab. There's a long range tab, and then you can do information by county, and they have other tools. But this is one of those pages that you can get lost in and just get a lot of information in a very short period of time. What have I not shown you that you guys want to see? I've sort of just been grazing the surface here. Is there anything that anybody wants to specifically see? It's not the most exciting 5 to 7 day period. It doesn't look like we're going to be dealing with any winter weather, which is something I'm a little bummed about. But it's also not a stretch of really nice, warm spring weather, which I think all of us would. If we're not going to get winter, I'd at least like to jump into spring, but that's not going to happen because it's now time for the rainy season to start. But in all seriousness, what were you guys hoping for? What would you like to see? Any questions? For the shift in the back, what are you guys going to focus on today?
I'm just excited for Thursday. I'm gonna sit outside.
What if it's raining out? gonna get rained on?
Yes.
No. She'll sit in the rain.
I can't wait for it to hit 70.
It's not going to.
It's not gonna hit 70, is that what you're?
No, I'm saying no. Kevin's saying yes.
Let's,
Europe says.
Yeah. The first little trickling in of the meso models with like actual cloud coverage has some clearing, so.
The max zone was 65.
I'm gonna sit on my balcony and I'm gonna read a book in the rain.
that sounds lovely.
Yes. I'm in the boat of this winter. It's been so disappointing that it needs to just be spring already.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just want to get outside and do stuff. Yeah, this has the front moving through early Friday morning. See the wind shift there, and then it takes but even with the front coming through, it's really not going to get very cold. It's just going to get cooler. But there is the potential that we could have some heavy rain late this week also. But yeah, again, not super exciting. And for those of you who don't know, if you use eWall and you want to see Euro and you're in this building, you can get to it by going to the old legacy US radar, hitting northeast, and this is where it's hidden. Go to the 0Z. If you're at home, you can't, but you can do it from this building because it knows what IP address you're on. I don't know if I just gave out secret information that I wasn't supposed to give out. But let's see last night's Euro. There it goes. Yeah, it doesn't have Thursdays being too bad of a day, does it? Some showers around, but not all the heavy rain well to our northwest. And this has the front, looks like moving in early Friday as well, yeah, and then keeping the rain to our south. Then another low riding up that front over the weekend. So the weekend might not be spectacular. Kind of like this weekend wasn't spectacular with the wind and the chill. What do you guys want to talk about? Bill, what do you want to talk about? Anybody have anything? I jumped in this.
Exciting weather, but we don't have it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very fun. But is there anything anybody wanted to look at? If we go to, let's see where there's a chance for. So nothing with that. It's out west today. That's just a chance for thunderstorms. So that's not even all that. Same with tomorrow. There we go. Marginal risk in Missouri. And then day 4, 5, which is Friday, Saturday. So yeah, even the SPC is a little, doesn't have too much excitement going on right now. Has anybody read the news about the IPCC report? I have not. I'm just curious if there's any key message. What is the?
Covered a little bit.
No, anything spectacular that came out of it?
Like, we have 2 years to peak emissions or else things get start to get bad.
Oh, okay. 2 years?
2 years to
Ooh.
get peak emissions.
All right, so we're screwed, is what you're saying. Okay, all right. All right, so go out on your balcony and party at the end of the week because we only have 2 years to fix things. Looking forward to your generation helping us fix things since my generation is failing miserably. You're fixing the world. You're fixing the world, Kevin.
Our generation?
Hey, there's no, mine is failed at that. All right, what else do you guys want to know? Is there anything you want to see? Anything you want to point out? I mean, it's kind of blah,
He just like tweaks it.
little blah. But so those of you who have social media accounts and are affiliated with WOA or Campus Weather, what are you going to tweet out this week? What sorts of stuff? No, Flood Safety Awareness Week. It is all about Flood Awareness Week. Get that information out there. People need to be prepared ahead of time, and especially tomorrow. Turn around, don't drown, because you do not know how deep the water is.
I will tweet from the WOA account. We had to change our password because someone logged in from like Germany or
Oh, that's a problem.
Dope.
That's a problem. This is actually a good one for tomorrow. A lot of really good facts. 12 inches of fast-moving water can carry away a small car. 18 to 24 inches can carry away most large SUVs, vans, and trucks. And 6 inches can knock over and carry away an adult. So just little facts like that people think, oh, I can walk through that. It's only up to my calf. And then there has to be a swift water rescue because they go, floating away. So important things like this for you guys to remember. I feel really badly that this is not chock full of really detailed, dirty information. But I guess the moral of the story is we start warming up. Our very cold morning that we had today, last one for a while. I guess tomorrow will still be on the average side of things. But then we really warm up even overnight, starting Wednesday morning. Cloud cover moves in tomorrow, cirrus clouds, and then by Wednesday, just more of a blah, dirty sky. Chance of some showers Wednesday with a warm front. Yeah,
I think it's really good that you brought that up, because it hasn't rained hard in a long time.
I guess that's true.
And it's water too, probably.
Yes, it'll rain off and on, and I think the heaviest right now looks like it's going to be Thursday night. So yeah, make sure you have your umbrella handy when you're walking across campus, because there's nothing worse than being a meteorology major without your umbrella when it starts to rain. You will get made fun of for that. Bye, Cam.
I don't own an umbrella.
Oh, how have you gotten away with that?
That's what I'm saying. That was close.
Wow. She's weeks away from graduation and doesn't own an umbrella. That is impressive.
I don't know, it's worked out for me.
All right.
I have my little rain
The only
jacket.
time it doesn't work is when it's cold.
Yeah.
In which case I'm like, why don't I have an umbrella? But it's so rare.
When it's slopping from the sky, which is our typical winter precipitation. Anything anybody else wants to see? I guess I didn't even pay attention to California. I have no idea what's happening out west. Are they still looking? Oh yeah, look at that. More rain Wednesday. The Pacific Northwest gets in on the action Thursday. I guess once that trough digs in, they lose the fire hose, which is good news for them. And what did I say? I saw that we're gonna hold out hope that maybe the end of, at some point next week, we might get into a wintry pattern. And look at this. On just before April Fools. We'll keep our eyes open for that, but we all know that's not gonna happen. But why not put it out on Twitter that we're going to have 6 inches of snow, because let's get the world excited. We'll have Bill tweet that for us.
Yeah, just tweet it right now. On my flip phone.
But yeah, sorry for the uneventful boringness, partly from me and partly from Mother Nature.
Thanks for doing it so me and Christian didn't have to.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know that was the option.
That was what
That was the backup.
Oh, you should have told me. I totally would have said no. Yeah, if you have a problem with, if Dan can't do it next week, let us know and we'll try to find you something.
Yeah, he said he was available.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, but if there's anything else, let me know. If not, that's it. Again, sorry it wasn't super exciting.
Thank you, Marisa.
Don't forget career fair tomorrow night if you haven't registered. Bless you. Yeah, that's all I have. Make good choices. That's the other thing I have to say.
My mom says that to me.
There's a reason why.
Like I'll leave the house and be like, love you, make good choices.
Yeah, you've never been in my classes. I say that on Fridays, or like my last class of the week. I'll say, make good choices. Because Lord only knows I didn't when I was your age. So.
If they had weather mom one, like during the spring, I would have taken it.
Oh.
But I could not take it last semester.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
not
having
really
you
like
email.
Yes, we're working on it.
Because I'd rather not have to take another hard class.
No, I mean, this is a time consuming class, but it's
Like, well, yeah, I mean,
time
I
consuming
don't
as
want
our
to,
part.
I don't want to drive anymore than I have to.
No.
But I'm also willing to do the 3 credits of what I want to, it just seems more flexible.
We're working on it. There might be a solution.
Okay,
We're trying.
for what, one way or?
Trying to move one around.
The one is.
I can't get into too much of it,
No, that's okay.
because they're still trying to figure some things out. Thanks, Dan. See you soon. They're still trying to figure some things out with travel, but my honor, I'm like sitting here talking about all this stuff.